The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. After the attack that happened in Niamey on the 18th, are all in all the saviors, the protectors, the unifiers, the messiahs, the kings of kings, our most loved, General Assimi Goïta, General Abdurrahman Chiani, our two generals, and Captain Ibrahim Traoré issued a communique. According to them, this attack, it was foreign sponsored to do what they did. But they are united, they stand together, and they'll continue to stand firm. That the situation is under control. But what they are looking for, they will never get. And that this is the time they want to prove to the world that they are united. One united people. And nothing is going to break them down. They tell the world how poor we are. Yet when the African decides to take control over its resources, we see them rising, trying to prevent the African. So it will serve as an example to the rest of the world that the African cannot do it without them. So the African has believed in one story, that we always need them before we can do anything. Now, according to the Malians, the Burkinabés, and the Nigerians, the African is capable of managing his own affairs because Dr. Kwame Nkrumah proved it. Sankara proved it. We have our prophet in Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, proved it. A lot of leaders in Africa proved to us that the African is capable of managing his own affairs.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this news broadcast, which we open with this statement from the Confederation of Sahel States following the terrorist attack on Diori Hamani International Airport in Niamey, Republic of Niger. The Confederation of Sahel States, AES, was the victim of a cowardly and treacherous attack carried out by the enemies of peace and harmony through terrorist acts. On Thursday, June 18, 2026, near the Diori Hamani International Airport in Niamey, Republic of Niger, obviously through the attempted takeover of Niamey Airport. The objective of this 18th attack was to reach the operational capabilities of the armed forces Nigerian and consequently to reverse the current trend of retreat of armed terrorist groups regularly defeated on the field of operations thanks to the professionalism, responsiveness, vigilance, and determined commitment of the forces. Nigerian fighters. The enemy has been routed and has suffered yet another crushing defeat. The Confederation of Sahel States condemns in the strongest terms this new manifestation of terrorist violence supported by foreign state sponsors. The AES Confederation salutes the bravery of the defense and security forces of the Republic of Niger and pays tribute to the Nigerian people in their patriotic work of preserving the sovereignty of Niger and the Sahel. The Confederation of Sahel States remains fully mobilized alongside the Republic of Niger and reaffirms its unwavering solidarity with the authorities and the brotherly people of Niger. Far from undermining the momentum guiding the confederal dynamic, the recurrent and remote-controlled attacks only strengthen the sacred union of the daughters and sons of the Confederation of Sahel States around the vision of their head of state in their struggle to preserve the territorial integrity of the member states, protect the populations, and ensure lasting peace in the Sahel region. The AES Confederation extends its condolences to the bereaved families and wishes a speedy recovery to those injured during these tragic events. The Confederation of Sahel States remains vigilant to counter any threat against its member states. done in Ouagadougou on June 19th, 2026, and strengthening diplomatic integration and speaking with one voice on the international stage is the goal of the meeting of the foreign ministers of the AES opened this Friday in Bamako under the presidency of Burkina Faso. The foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are focusing on the implementation of the roadmap for Wave 2 of the Confederation. Highlights from the opening ceremony with Aluseni Touré.
It is an alliance that now intends to speak with one single voice in the concert of nations. Gathered in the Malian capital, the foreign ministers of the AES display unwavering solidarity. The session is open and chaired by the Burkinabe minister Karamogo Jean-Marie Traoré, whose country holds the presidency of the Confederation. For the three states, the urgency is to strengthen the diplomatic pillar in the face of foreign interference. Proof of this collective resilience is the unanimous and firm condemnation of the recent terrorist attacks, notably the one that targeted Niamey Airport just 48 hours ago.
So, that whatever the situation might be, they'll continue to be united. There's nothing that is going to divide them. And that is where we need to stand as Africans. Unity is the ultimate goal. They don't understand why the Africans should decide to take control over their resources. Because when we do, they fall. I've shown you videos where they are complaining about their economy, how things are very hard, how they are borrowing to survive, yet they haven't been able to pay any debt out of it. Even though their people pay taxes. But the Africans still sit here and we believe less in ourselves. The leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are proving to the world that the African can do it. And they keep exposing the people behind whatever plots that they always plan. Because they stop using the normal route they always come through, so that people wouldn't detect them. But unfortunately on their part, they still detected them. And why the African always allow himself to be used against the continent is something that we really need to educate ourselves. Because the kind of education we receive back at school doesn't give us anything about the African. It teaches us outsiders, not what we have. So the African believes so much in these people. Like Joshua Mamponga said, they brought their God in their color. So when the African is rising to fight for his or her own freedom, we think that we are going to be harming their God. So because the African don't know what we have, the power in us, and we are all taught that the place that you can ever succeed is there. So when they come in any form to ask the African to do anything, we always gladly do that. We are ready to worship them because we believe that we have nothing. What is even here that we have to fight for? But if we change the educational system altogether to re-conscientize the black person, to let us understand what we have, I think that will be the beginning of the African sovereignty. When the African is taught to know what we have, the power that we have, I think it will change the way we do things. We always shamefully allow ourselves to be used against the continent. And when we finish, we are the same people that are crying for a better life. We are crying for things to be good for us. Yet we ourselves are not ready to cause a change. The leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are united. And they keep telling the world we are united. And all the plans they have been plotting continue to fail. Just some few months, within 5 months, 2 attacks on Niamey International Airport. And there are 2 things. Their resources and then the AESI. Have the Air Base 101. From there, you have the other things. That's the thing that when they're able to block the eye of the AES. Because if they should have succeeded on the attack, and what they are targeting or what they were looking for, if they should have succeeded, it's not only going to affect Niger, it's going to affect all the AES leaders. Everything of these 3 nations is kept there. That's why they are bent on always targeting that Niger. They believe that if that place is out, the AES will be rendered powerless. And because the AES also knows that their eye is there, they are doing everything possible to protect it. That is what they are using to monitor them, get to know their moves, get to know, gather intelligence and everything. So they believe that they are not succeeding in everything that they want to do in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso because of this eye. So when they are able to plug that eye out, they wouldn't be able to monitor their movement, to intercept their communications, to do nothing. So they'll have the upper hand in order to do what they want to do. So what they are targeting is not only on the people of Niger. It is a target or an attack on all the 3 AES countries. So now I believe a lot of us have the picture or understand why they are bent on targeting the Niamey, aside the uranium that is stuck there and is not moving, because some people believe, like Orano claims, that they have taken it illegally from them. They own this uranium, and they even called Nigerians thieves because they claim that the resources belong to them. And all in all, they're saying that how can you call me a thief or claim something is yours on my own soil, not in France, but on the soil of Niger? It's not possible. And we are seeing how they are blocking, making sure that they don't sell this uranium to any other person. They don't sell this uranium to any other person. If the Western world will not buy, as for China and then Russia, they will definitely buy, because they have upper hand on themselves and nobody determine what they should do. They decide the fate of other people. So Africans need to change the mentality, work together, love ourselves, and be the ones to protect our land, because there is nobody that will ever come into the continent to come and do anything for us. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in AES.